All right. So this lesson is a lot like the last one in that you're just solving a system of two equations with a different method. So the way it's set up is a little bit different, but you're still trying to look for the same thing. You're trying to figure out where or at what point the two lines cross. Okay. This one sets up a lot better when you can line up your x's and your y's, and so you can do it in two ways. You want to eliminate one of the two variables with either addition or subtraction. So I know it seems weird that you can do this, but I'm just going to look at these two things on top of each other, and I'm going to say, if I want to put an operation, either addition or subtraction right there, which one is going to get rid of one of the two variables for me? So I'm going to choose plus, because I know that when I add a positive 1y with a negative 1y, it's going to give me 0 y's, and I've eliminated that variable, right? We're trying to find an x and a y, so we want to get rid of one variable so we can do it. So what do we get here? Then if I added these two things up here, I got to add everything else up too. So I've got x, 1x plus another x gives me 2x. So we call this plus 0y or whatever, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Okay, and then negative 4 plus 2 gives me minus 2. So here x, divide both sides by 2, and I'm going to get x is equal to minus 1. So I'm going to throw minus 1 into there. Okay, and then just like before, okay, I'm going to take this x is equal to 1, and I'm going to throw it into one of the two equations up here, okay, and find out what my y is. So in this, I'm going to use the first one. So I'm going to say where the x was, plus y is equal to minus 4. I'm going to throw that x into here and find my y. So, whoops, sorry about that. Okay, so let's see. Y, I'm going to add 1 to both sides, is equal to negative 4 plus 1 gives me negative 3. So the solution to this system of equations, the line where both of those, the point where both those lines cross is going to be negative 1 and negative 3. Okay, let's try another one. Let's try a tougher one here, and then we'll go down to a problem solving one, I think. Let's try and do number 4, see what happens there. Okay, so is there one here where you can't? Nope. Okay, so let's try number 4. All right, so you got to kind of be wise in which one you choose. So I can see that the 3y, minus 3y and the plus 3y, I can eliminate the y if I add those two equations up, right? So I'm going to get 2x plus 4x gives me 6x here, minus 3y plus 3y gives me plus 0y, so that's nice. That just kind of takes it right out of the equation there, right? Is equal to, and then I'm going to add these two up, gives me 36. Okay? So divide both sides by 6. X is equal to 6. So 6 goes there. And then I'm going to use the top equation again. It doesn't matter which one you use. You can use the top or bottom. You're going to get the same answer as long as you're doing it right. So I'm going to get 2 times x minus 3y is equal to 12 there. So I'm going to put my x right here, and I'm going to get, for 12 there, so I'm going to get negative 3y is equal to 12 minus 12, which is 0. So divide both sides by minus 3, and y is equal to 0 divided by minus 3 is 0. So the point at which these two lines cross is going to be at 6 and 0. Okay, so just a quick little, I guess, application here. Okay, so it's when you have two situations and you're trying to find where those two things kind of collide, I guess, in a way, or they share a point. Okay, so here it says Rima is older than Ken. The difference of their ages is 12, and the sum of their ages is 50. So and they want you to find the age of each. Okay, so I'm going to let Rima equal an R, Rima's age, and I'm going to let K equal Ken's age. And now let's go ahead and solve this thing out. So the difference between the two, okay, looks like Rima is older than Ken, so if I'm going to do the difference, I'm going to put her first. So R minus K is equal to 12, right? So it's a plus number here, so the bigger one's got to be first. And then the sum of those two ages, R plus K, is equal to 50. Okay, so difference and sum, right? And now if I want to get rid of one of those two variables and I add, I can get rid of the k's. So I'm going to get 2r's plus negative k plus k gives me 0 k's, or okay, funny, 0 k's, is equal to 62. So I guess that means that Rima is, divide both sides by 2, is equal to 31 years old, right? So if Rima's 31, how old does that make Ken? And again, I can go back to either of these, right? And it'll give me the same answer. If Rima's 31 and I want to know how old Ken is, I can dump it into here. So Ken looks like he's going to equal 31 minus 12, gives me around 19, I think, in that one. But look at in the other equation. Let's just say, so I know Ken is 19 there, we did that. But if I would have used the other equation here, R plus K is equal to 50, would have got the same exact answer, right? So I would have said that 31 plus K is equal to 50. So K, subtract 31 from each side, is 19 again. So just so you know, it doesn't matter which one you use. Okay. Let's take a look. Oh, I know what I'm doing wrong here. Let's do this. Let's take a look at the next page there. Here we go. Is this, what's going on here? This is the one I want, but for some reason, this is writing over top of it. So let's get rid of this. Okay. And we'll make this one nice and small so it's not in our way. We'll put it over there, and we'll bring this one into play. So this is exactly the same process, except here I'm going to use addition and subtraction instead of addition to solve for the variable, right? So let's take a look at this first one here. And so if I add now, I kind of like the looks of this. If I went and added these two equations up, okay, I would get like a minus 3y, but minus 6y. But if I subtract, minus 3 minus 3 is going to give me 0y, right? And that's what we want, so we can eliminate that variable. So now I'm going to go 2 minus 5x with the other variables is going to be minus 3x is equal to, an 11 minus 14 gives me minus 3. So divide both sides by minus 3. So it's just to show you that it doesn't matter which operation you use, whether it's plus or minus, as long as you're using the right one to get rid of one of the variables, you know what I mean? Like you're adding and subtracting properly, okay? You can use either one. So that gives me x is equal to 1. So that's the first part of my point. And then I'm going to go dump it back into one of the two equations. So 2 times my x minus 3y is equal to 11. So I'm going to throw the 1 into there, right? Because that's what x is. And solve. So minus 3y is equal to, looks like minus 11 minus 2 would give me 9. So y is going to equal, divide both sides by minus 3. Gives me y is equal to minus 3. So that's my solution. Okay, so there's some exercises there for you to do. You can go and check. Well, here, let's go ahead and do one of the do one of the problem solving ones down here and see if we can put another application. You guys will probably want to see this geometry one because it's very exciting. Okay, so it says two angles are supplementary. The measure of one angle is 10 more than 3 times the other. Find the measure of each angle. Oh my goodness. So I've got two angles, so I'm going to make angle 1x and I'm going to make angle 2y. Those two things are supplementary, so they're going to add up to 180, right? And then in the second sentence here, okay, a second situation, it says that the measure of one angle is 10 degrees more than 3 times the other. So the measure of, let's say my first angle, x, is going to equal 10 more than 3 times the other. So that's going to give me 3y plus 10. Okay? So we can actually do this either way. We could do this by substitution, or we could do it by elimination. Just because this is the elimination lesson, let's do it that way. So I'm going to line these up so my variables are all nice and lined up. So I'm going to subtract 3y from both sides. So I end up with x minus 3y is equal to 10 on this side. So same equation, just kind of rearranged it. And now I'm going to use, well, which one? I need to use subtraction, right, to get rid of my x's. So x minus x gives me 0x. Y minus 3 gives me plus 4y. And 180 minus 10 gives me 170, right? So I guess might need to use a calculator a little bit here, but I'm going to divide both sides by 4. And let's see, 4 goes into 17, I guess, 4 times. And then 4 goes into 10. Did I do that right? 2 times. And then I'm going to be left over with 2, and 4 is going to go into 20 when I put the decimal in there, 42.5. Okay, so I've got my y. And so I can go and dump that into right here. Oh, not there. There, because it's a y, to find my x. So x plus 42.5 is equal to 180. So I guess x, if I subtract 42.5 from each side, is going to give me about 137.5. Okay, so there's your